Well done. Well done, sir. And speaking of well done, sir, it's time for your tip of the week. What do you got for us?
All right, Rich. Well, this is a topic that is an awkward and uncomfortable scenario topic. The scenario is we have to exit an employee. And, from no matter what your business model is, whether you're an MSP, whether you're a vendor, whether you're, a finance company, whatever it is, it's always the toughest decision that one needs to make. And if you're not prepared to understand how to address that in a way that does not appear to the rest of the organization from an employee morale perspective, and a what's next? Am I next kind of a perspective? Then you should stop and think about it. And I'm working with a client right now that's going through this scenario. I'm helping them out with planning, how to address the imminent exit of someone that's been in the organization for many years and is perceived to be delivering everything that one would expect. While in fact behind the scenes, the opposite is true. There are definite reasons why the organization needs to make a change, and what I'm now working with them through is, okay, well, how are we going to present this in a way to the organization that does not appear as if we are sliding backwards because we are releasing someone that everyone knows and likes and thinks is doing a great job, when in fact, there are other reasons, the mitigating factors, whatever it is, right? And so, some of the conversation was, well, maybe we can have someone, step back from a role. They used to have that role and come back in and then do that for a while and move forward that way. And I said, well, you know what? That could appear as if we are moving backwards instead of forwards. And instead I said, is there someone that we can promote up into that position, or a couple of people that could maybe manage that position and give them more opportunity to earn that position moving forward? So instead of thinking, okay, we'll have someone fill in that is at a higher level maybe in that position, which could be perceived as, oh, we're moving backwards to the rest of the organization, when in fact that might be the best solution. In the short term, another option might be, well, do we have anybody on the bench that we could offer that position to, or even create an open opportunity for folks to compete for that position, put them through some training, and then move forward that way. And this way, it positions that opportunity differently to the rest of the staff, and sees this as a way that, oh, we're moving forward, we're going to move right along with it. Now, there are a lot of other strategies and tactics that one must consider when faced with a situation like this. But the point today is, position that and strategize around that so that you're actually, in reality, moving the company forward, rather than perhaps, having an incorrect perception of, oh, someone is stepping back into that role, and then creating more concern than is merited when the company is doing everything it should be doing by trading out players. If you're, we use this analogy, on another podcast a while ago, Rich, when I said, hey, when you're growing a championship team, you've got to make some player trades along the way to get you to the championship every year. I use that analogy for customers or clients in another podcast, but now I'm talking about the internal team itself. Can we get to the Super Bowl with the team we have, or do we need to make some trades?
Now, there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I think the biggest takeaway there for folks in the audience is the word you used, I think, at the beginning was awkward. This is an awkward topic. It's also just an awkward thing to do. It's an awkward thing for the entire organization to experience. And you really do need to think about this, not just in terms of the hardest part, which is the very difficult conversation you're going to have with that employee. It's going to be hard for them. It's going to be hard for you. But you really do need to think about the organizational impact. And if anything, plan on over-communicating in the early going after this change has been made, because If you do not answer all the questions that people inevitably are going to have about that, people will fill that void in with their own assumptions about why this happened and, like you said, what it potentially means for them. So you got to be prepared in terms of handling that interaction with the employee, which is going to be difficult. There are no two ways about it. But you also have to have a strategy and a plan for dealing with it organizationally, so that this doesn't disrupt productivity and doesn't leave people feeling like there's something wrong at this company and it might be my turn next.
Absolutely, Rich. Well said.